Welcome back, everyone. This is Mo Investing, and we keep things short and sweet, so let's jump straight in. Now, this is the portfolio update for the month of May 2026, and if we look at our rate of return since the inception of the portfolio, we're sitting at around 240% rate of return, which equates to around €3,560. If we look at our year-to-date performance so far, our rate of return is 43% and equating to €2,569. And then if we look at our performance over the last month, so the month of May, we've had a pretty good return of 16.5%, which equates to €1,252 for us. Now, our returns have mainly been driven by AMD's rise in the last 2 months. So as you can see here, AMD is our largest position, and it's also our first triple in the portfolio. So we're sitting at a return of 218%, and that equates to €2,322. We also have 8 shares of AMD at an average price of €132. And you can see as of today, which is June the 1st, it is at €422 stock price. So we've done pretty well there. I do think AMD will continue to be our largest holding for now. I'm not planning on selling any shares anytime soon, but if it does reach, I'd say, $1 trillion in valuation or market cap, then I might consider trimming a bit of this position and reallocating that cash. But as of now, I'm thinking of just continuing to hold. Now, our second largest holding is Amazon. It's up 22% for us. And as you can see in the last month, it's been pretty flat. But as I said in the last video, I do think Amazon will eventually be our largest holding. This is a company that I'll be adding to whenever it dips, and I'll likely be holding for a very, very long time. Our next largest holding is Meta, which is our most recent buy. Now, Meta we bought into in January, or I think it was mid to late January of this year, and Meta is pretty much flat for us since we've bought in. We're sitting at 2.7 shares, which I want to build to a 3-share position and maybe more, and we have an average price of €535. Now, Meta is down based on the AI capex spend fears, but I do think that will come down eventually and the stock will re-rate. And if they do overspend in AI infrastructure, I think they can easily sell that compute to others. So I do continue to believe Meta is a really strong buy at this point, especially with the valuation being as depressed as it is. They're sitting at a 22 trailing 12-month PE, and I believe a 19 or 20 forward PE. So I think it's a very good buy at this point. Now, our next largest holding is Novo Nordisk, and it's down for us 20% since we bought in September 2025. Novo is in a quite questionable position for me at this point. The recovery story as of the last earning report, in my opinion, is quite extended, and I think this stock will take maybe a year or two to recover from the current levels and move back up. So it does pose the question of opportunity cost. I do think Meta is a stronger buy at this point, and I wouldn't mind adding even more to that position. And then I might raise cash as well by selling Novo for another opportunity. So Novo is on the chopping block for me at this point. Our next and last holding is Google. Google is up for us 64%. Google has had a great year, so it's up 116% in the last year, and in the last month it's up 7%. We own 3 shares of Google, and Google is in a similar situation to Amazon for me. Whenever there's a dip here, I'll buy in and I'll continue to hold this company for a very long time. Now, another thing to mention in this portfolio update is that we did sell out of our ASML position. ASML became a 90% gain for us in the portfolio, which is pretty amazing for our small portfolio. We had 0.87 shares of ASML, and our resulting gains were €553, which is pretty amazing. I sold out of ASML as I didn't think there was much more to gain in the coming years from the company in terms of stock price. And if I do go to Qualtrim here, you can see that ASML is cyclical in terms of earnings or price to earnings. So it does go up quite a bit once there's positive momentum in the stock, and then dips quite a lot. And those points do present a great opportunity to buy, as ASML is a monopoly in the space that it operates in. So as you can see, since we did buy in early 2025 and during the April lows, we bought in at a great point. And based on ASML's own guidance for the next couple of years and some personal projections for their valuation in the next 5 to 10 years, I didn't see much appreciation to be gained from the stock price. So I decided to sell out of this one to raise more capital to buy more Meta, and then have some cash on the side for any more attractive opportunities in the market. So yes, ASML is our only sell in the last couple of months, and if ASML does drop to an attractive valuation again, I'd be a happy buyer of this company. The moat is intact and they do maintain a monopoly in the space, so I'd be happy to buy in again at any point. Moving on to the weighting of our holdings in the portfolio, as you can see, AMD maintains the largest weighting at 40%, then it's Amazon at 18%, Meta Tesla at 16%, and then finally Google at 11%. And that's essentially everything I wanted to cover for the portfolio update. We've had a pretty good month in May, and hopefully we can have a really good month in June. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.